What is up, YouTube? Welcome. The day is here. The day is here. Justice League is in cinemas. I have seen it. I have got a free little wristband, a Flash wristband. So what was really cool, I went to the Odeon here in the UK. They give you a special little wristband. You choose which one you want. And I was like, my boy Flash, obviously. Obviously, we're going for Barry Allen, the Flash. So the movie, I loved it. This TLDR, I absolutely adored it. From start to finish, I was enamored with this movie. It is awesome. I do not know what film these reviewers have seen. I don't know why it's 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what they're smoking. They must have been smoking a fat doobie before they went in, because they are off their chain. This movie is stunning. It is not only a really good film, it is possibly better than Avengers, and I am a Marvel stan. It is awesome. It is just awesome. So there's a few bits with it. I didn't really like Aquaman. Cyborg was just a bit kind of dark and stoic for my liking. So this first half of this video is going to actually be spoiler free. And then we're going to go into like spoiler territories. But the movie, a lot of problems. We had statements saying that there was a stark difference between Joss Whedon's part and Zack Snyder. Now that's completely and utterly incorrect. I noticed absolutely no difference. You had the characterized, you had the fun characters, you had the dialogue, which we've grown to absolutely love from Joss Whedon, and also you had the stunning visual shots from Zack Snyder. The film opened in a similar fashion to Watchmen, I would say, in the way we had that kind of like really desolation, no hope whatsoever. It opens because, well, Superman's dead, and the world is ripe for the taking by Steppenwolf, because there is so much hatred, horribleness in the world, and now it has been left open for a conqueror, which is, well, Steppenwolf. And is Steppenwolf good? Now, the problem is, this movie is basically Justice League Origin from New 52 without Darkseid, but with Steppenwolf. And, well, the problem is Darkseid is like a larger-than-life character. He is like the big one. He is the big evil. The Omega beams, the Omega symbols, it's just, he is fear. But Steppenwolf steps into that role, and, well, he is instantly really forgettable. That is the problem with this movie, is the fact that I would say, if I was to nitpick, I would say that this Steppenwolf, we learned nothing about his history. We didn't learn of his life on Apokolips, which I can understand would be really jarring for people who haven't seen the movie, who haven't read the comics. So if you haven't read the comics, you're not going to know really who Darkseid or Apokolips is. So that is a bit of a problem there. I would have liked that tease, maybe a flashback to Steppenwolf and why he has been, you know, ousted. He is in exile from his birth planet. So there is that, and that is just the only real problem I could go with. And you could argue really that Thanos as well, I mean, he is the villain for some reason. Well, not, I say for some reason, he is obvious why he is the villain, but we've barely seen him whatsoever. And in this, we don't really see anything at all. And, well, my problem, this is more easily comparable to possibly, actually, the Avengers. So the Avengers, I can see why they've got Joss Whedon in to kind of finish the movie, so to speak, because it is pretty much the Avengers. The way Wonder Woman was Captain America, this is similar to Avengers. But what I didn't like about Avengers was where they were actually infighting and they didn't really come together until a massive fight at the end. This group actually worked together. It wasn't simply just one major battle in a static location. This one here, the League were actually working together, investigating and working as a team. They were a bit dysfunctional, but they worked as a team. And the problem with the Loki scepter and the distrust in that in Avengers, that's what I didn't like. But here, I think they actually kind of remedied. I think Joss Whedon maybe actually fixed the problems that he had with Avengers in my eyes. That as a MCU fanboy, that for me was a problem. Avengers, I didn't really. I was like, it's very kind of there, and that's it. This movie, I think, is really, really good. Granted, we didn't really learn what or who the parademons actually were, but you know what? Maybe that can be explained later down the road. This was very much the story of the League, and the League here forming together was what we wanted. It's what we got, and it worked really, really well. Now, the absolute standout of this movie is the Flash. I mean, come on. He is the best. And Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, I was a bit worried about that. I didn't really like it. Well, to be honest, I hadn't really seen anything by Ezra Miller apart from Fantastic Beasts, and he said like 2 lines in that. That was it. So here, I think he's done a lot better. He's funny, he's hilarious, the childlike wonder on his face as he's zipping around the Batcave, finding all this stuff and being like, I'm a fanboy. He was us. He was the audience watching this movie. And seeing the Speed Force, that was amazing. Seeing him interact with the person who has come back. No spoilers, you know he's going back, obviously. That interaction, his interaction with the team, his interaction with Batman, very much like Tony Stark and Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. That's kind of what that was like, except there wasn't the snarky Tony Stark. We had a mentor. So yeah, it was absolutely awesome to see that group work together. And the mother boxes could have been explained just a bit more, but I'm going to explain what I think the unity was, which is, and the aim of this movie for Steppenwolf was to unite these 3 mother boxes to get them together to take over Earth. And really, it seems like this villain was literally there just to unite the League. And that's maybe why it's okay that this villain wasn't as good, to be honest. Now, a few things for me was the CGI. The opening of the movie, the set looked crap. It just looked like a proper fake set. Like the green screen wasn't right. The CGI on Cyborg, he looked like a dodgy Snapchat filter, to be honest, which was a real shame. I mean, on Facebook, you can actually get on the app, you can get the filter that makes you look like Cyborg, and that's really what it seemed like. The tracking just felt a bit off, and it was a shame, but I'm not really a Cyborg fan, but it was cool. Aquaman, wow. Now, Aquaman, I didn't mind. I like Jason Momoa. I'm a huge, huge Jason Momoa fan. But he just seemed like a dick for no reason. But every team has to have the guy who's a bit of a guy who you don't really like. And, well, I would have liked to have learned more about him and things like that. But I guess there's more to come in his solo movie. Now, further to this as well, we had the somewhat history of the mother boxes, which looked amazing. And I love the way they did it. It literally just cut to a flashback. That was it. And we learnt of the mother boxes. Now, the standouts I said was Barry Allen. Another standout was the Amazonians. So the Amazonians were absolutely amazing in this movie. Absolute badasses. They were so good. The action with them was amazing. I literally watched Wonder Woman before I went to see the movie. And I guess that's why I was so biased, maybe, to why they were better, maybe, than the Atlanteans. We didn't see much of the Atlanteans as much as I would have personally liked. But, you know what, you can't always get what you want. Now, overall, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. I don't really score things whatsoever. There were bits which could have been better. I mean, I would have liked more Jim Gordon, maybe. But there were lots of things that were pockmarked. We had Star Labs as well. Star Labs taking over the Kryptonian ship thing. So yeah, that's really cool there that we're getting. There's a hell of a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. I mean, the second half of this video, I'm going to go into a bit more depth into that, but I will do a separate Easter egg video as well. But let's move into the spoiler part of the territory of this video. Now, there was a hell of a lot of Easter eggs, like I said. One of the biggest things for me was the fact that we actually got to see Green Lanterns. There were Green Lanterns in this. We saw them. One of them was there was two. There was one killed by I believe it was Steppenwolf. It was very, very fast there as to what it was. But we saw the ring fly off his finger. One, he died. Maybe it was Abin Sur, maybe not. It looked a bit like him. It just looked a tad like him there, but I don't think it would be Abin Sur, the one who actually gave the lantern or the ring to Hal Jordan. So yeah, it's a bit iffy to see what happened there, but really awesome that we got to see that. And Zeus was there. We saw Artemis as well, another Greek goddess as well. Zeus was the one throwing the lightning. I told you so. I knew. Yeah, I told you. I was right with that. I knew that would happen. It was really cool. All those gods came together, and that is maybe where they decided, you know, to form and get the Shazam thing going, perhaps. Yeah, that was really, really cool. I do like the fact that Star Labs took over the whole thing with a Kryptonian ship. Nice to see Star Labs, as always, because, you know, I'm a big Flash guy. Star Labs in the TV show, in the comics, yeah, just awesome. And it's nice to see we got a similar origin for Cyborg to the comics. And we actually saw his new suit, or his comic book suit, at the end of the movie as well. So really, really cool. And the Flash as well. We get the father in prison. He wants to be a CSI so he can solve his mother's murder. But we know that was the Reverse Flash who went back in time after everything to kill his mother to really, really get at Barry Allen. And yeah, that happened, which would lead into Flashpoint later down the line when he decides to go back in time and help his mother. But that causes Flashpoint, which then we were stuck in a war between the Atlanteans and the Amazonians, which was teased. There was a tease of a war between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans when Aquaman had the kind of the lasso of truth on him by accident and was being, you know, kind of a bit misogynistic. But whatever, I'm going to gloss over that. So yeah, there is that. Obviously, the Reverse Flash is going to come there. As well as this, in the opening scene in Gotham, we actually see Janus, which is the cosmetic company which is connected to the Black Mask. So again, a big thing there that the Black Mask is hinted in this movie as well. It could just be a passing thing, or maybe I'm reading just a tad too much into it. But really, really cool there that we got to see that. Further to this, the Superman return was, you know, almost like the comics. He was taken to a Kryptonian ship. Doesn't quite have the Fortress of Solitude, so they had to do with a Kryptonian ship, and he was brought back to life, and he wasn't quite right, just like he was in the comics as well. But the post-credit scenes, we saw the Flash and Superman having a race, which, you know, was absolutely amazing. And then we also had the Deathstroke scene with Lex Luthor broken out of prison. I love this. He's a lot more like he is in the comic book. So yeah, really, really awesome. And at the end, Steppenwolf isn't dead. Now, he's not dead. We saw him leave. That was possibly his nephew taking him back to Apocalypse to maybe execute him and things like that. So I think that's what's going to happen there. And my prediction here is that this unity that he's talking about, power, like people falling in line, what could that could be the anti-life equation. And the anti-life equation really makes people realize that there's no point in kind of being rebels or things like that at a very base level. This is something that Darkseid has wanted to get for a long time and was featured in Final Crisis. If you haven't read Final Crisis, go and check it out. It's amazing. And I think that unity will eventually become the anti-life equation. Darkseid will come back to Earth with that anti-life equation. Boy, that's what I think. I know that's a big long shot there, to be honest. But let me know what you think in the comments below with that. But one thing I didn't mention was we had the Deathstroke scene, and Lex Luthor wants to set up his own league. Yeah, what could that be? The Injustice League is being set up, which is a group of villains who work together to kind of protect themselves. And in New 52 is actually the Injustice League stopped an incursion from Earth 3. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff there. Really, really big, deep cuts. But I'm going to go more in depth in this. I'm going to see it again as well. So again, a really, really awesome movie. I absolutely freaking loved it. There were parts I didn't like. I would have liked Superman to, be revived just a bit earlier so we could have more Henry Cavill. But he is the hope as well. And I loved Batman's kind of admiration of Superman there, which was pretty funny. So very much like, you can see Joss Whedon's influence a lot in this movie. But also Zack Snyder's amazing visuals. So that's it for this video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.